And Kristen here. Thanks so much for joining us for another Give Me 20 episode. And if this is your first one that you're watching, well, you're in for a treat. Let me tell you that right from the get-go. So what I'm doing is I'm interviewing fascinating Edmontonians and talking about who they are and how they show up, not just about what they do. And I think this is such a powerful way to connect with others in our business community. And so this is, we're in several episodes in now, but we have something really neat for you today because I have a woman that the best way I can describe her is on fire. She is an inspiration to every single person she meets. She lights up the room when she walks in, and she's just getting started. She's done so much already in her career. And I can't even fathom where she's going to take it from this point on. So I'm going to introduce you to her in a minute, but let me tell you a little bit about her background so you have some context here. So Justine Martinson, she is the founder of Lipstick Empire and CEO of Virago and Lace. So 2 businesses, you guys. This is unreal. She has been a medical esthetician and laser technician for 12 years. She opened her first spa in Edmonton in 2011 when she was 23. Yes, 23. She then went on to pursue a career in dermatology, working for the president of dermatology in Canada. Like, she goes big wherever she goes. Her vast knowledge of the industry has made her a leader and a top advisor in the medical aesthetics world. Justine started Lipstick Empire in 2013 as a cosmetic consulting company, and then decided to open up a bricks and mortar store in the heart of Edmonton. In December of 2015, Justine launched Lipstick Empire Laser Spa. After nearly 4 years of running her own business, she then decided to expand her interests elsewhere and into marketing and social media to create Virago and Lace. This is a digital branding consultancy firm, and this is where she's combined her passion for business, marketing, and mentorship to help others become successful by teaching them the marketing tools and strategies that they need to thrive in their business. Not only are her businesses her life's work, purpose, and passion, they have become her platform to drive change in her community, empower others, and give back in countless other ways. Now get ready for this, because now I'm going to list off all the things that she does because she cares about her community. Justine has donated her time and monetary resources over the years to organizations such as United Way, the Stollery Women's Network, Win House, the Lorana Shelter, SACE, and many other deserving causes and charitable organizations. She's made it her mission to stand up for change, educate, and encourage others in her community to join her in doing the same while being a strong voice for those who are more socially vulnerable. So without further ado, welcome, Justine.
Thank you so much. I need you to follow me around with that introduction. Like, you're talking, I'm like, I need to meet this girl. Like, she sounds awesome.
Well, and it's, oh my gosh, it's my pleasure. And I'm so thrilled that you're here with me today because, truly from the moment we met, our eyes locked in kind of a random situation, wasn't expecting to meet you in the moment. And I just knew, there was just this light and this energy coming off of you that drew me in. And every single engagement that we've had, every conversation, I walk away feeling smarter, brighter, more fulfilled, more inspired. And you do that with everyone. So,
but we're glitter sisters. I came up to you
sisters.
right away. I noticed you right away. I complimented you on your hair, but it was everything. You're right. We locked eyes and we're like, all right, girl, we're going to be friends.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so I am super excited to run through my 4 favorite questions with you and get your insights on them and just share your wisdom, knowledge, and insight with others. So if you're ready, okay.
I'm ready, girl.
Let's do this. Okay. First question is pretty simple, but it can go deep. How do you help others?
Wow, this is my favorite thing to do. So back to Lipstick Empire, which is my medical spa that I absolutely love. Yes, it's a business, but it is so much more than that. I would do this for free. I would do what I do for free because I love empowering men and women, but I love empowering people. I love making them look and feel like their absolute best self. And I had a really hard time charging people for services because I'm like, I just want to light you up. That's all I want. It makes me feel so good to be able to give that gift to people. They walk in here and, you never know what people are going through or how they're feeling. And they leave Lipstick Empire just feeling elated and just like a rock star. And there's just a whole new confidence, like a whole new way they carry themselves. It's really cool to be a part of that. So that's a huge one for me. I compliment people as often as I can because I think it's so important. Genuine compliments.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I will walk down the street and compliment people and it's just like, they don't know how to take it at first. And then they're, just feeling so good. So that's one little way
Mm-hmm.
I, love to give back and uplift others. Another way is through my charitable organizations, philanthropic work. I would like to do that full time. That'll be my goal. That is my goal one day, to be able to do that full time and give back to the charities. And I'm on the Zebra Child Protection Board. I love being on the board. I love coming up with creative ways because I can use my marketing expertise to sit on that board and say, okay, have we thought of this? Let's think outside of the box. Let's raise some money, some funds for these deserving children. And I've been able to do that in many different organizations in our community.
Wow. I mean, the list goes on and on. I'm sure we could dig into this, and you have so many stories and so many examples of how you've helped people. And, I think what I take away from what you're saying here is it doesn't always have to be a grand gesture.
No.
It doesn't always have to be with donating dollars, right? It can be so simple as a compliment.
Yeah.
And the ripples that come from that, you could change somebody's entire day, and then they could go and do the same thing for other people too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what was the first thing you said to me? Oh, you look so beautiful. What was the first thing I said to you? Oh, you look so radiant. You look so beautiful. Like, it just changes your mood, right? So I'm glad
and
that
I'm all for it. Oh, it's so good. And it just helps. It's so much more than the superficial. It goes deep. And you're setting a wonderful example in so many ways.
Thank you.
Amazing. Okay, question number 2. So far in life, what has been your greatest life lesson?
Oh man, greatest life lesson. I've had many of them. Do not let the highs get too high and the lows get too low. That's it. Like, I think of that every single day. I'm already feeling emotional just saying it. I think of it multiple times a day. It was my dad who first said this to me when I was going into business, because he's an entrepreneur himself. And he just said, there's going to be days that are so good and you're up here. It's so high. And then there's going to be days where it knocks you on your ass, excuse my language, but it knocks you on your ass and you're down here. And so you got to take the good with the bad, and you just got to try as much as you can to keep it here, because it's not always up here. It's, as entrepreneurs, it's a roller coaster ride. So I live my life by this. And all through COVID, I just kept saying, keep going, and do not let the highs get too high or the lows get too low. You can do this, just keep going. So that has been my absolute biggest lesson through all of this. But it's a daily reminder, my friends.
Yeah.
There's always something.
Always. And that's something that's probably a little easier to remember when you're at the high point, right? But when it's the lows, or it feels like it's one low after another, but to remember that it's gonna bounce. It's not gonna stay here. So just as the lows will come, so too will the highs again. And you just gotta stay the course, right?
Yes, absolutely. And another thing, I know it was one, but I just have one other thing. My favorite saying, jump and build your plane on the way down. You got to go for it. You got to try it on. You got to see how it feels. You got to talk about it. You got to live it. You got to think about it. You got to be whatever it is you want to be. You have to fully commit to it. And that's what I've done. And it's terrifying. It's scary as hell, but it's served me very well.
Well, no kidding. At the age of 23, you opened up your first medical spa. Like, that wasn't just because somebody pushed you off the airplane,
Yeah.
right? Or pushed you off. That was
Yeah.
clearly a choice, probably
You
fraught
had
with
to jump.
risk, and you had to jump.
Huge risk.
Yeah.
And start before you're ready, because you're
Yeah.
never going to be ready.
No, it never comes. It never
No.
comes. No, the
Mm-mm.
readiness comes as you're building the plane.
Yes,
Absolutely.
for
Oh,
sure.
great wisdom, my friend. I love it.
Thank you.
Okay, question number 3. And I dig into this with everybody because I truly believe in the magical powers of hope. I think it is one of the most powerful human emotions that we can experience, and we need to highlight it. And
Yeah.
so I'm asking everybody, what 2 things are you most hopeful for in the future?
Yeah. So one thing I know is that my community, my clients, my friends, my family will always support me. They are my ride or dies. And especially going through the past 3 months where we were closed for 105 days, the phone calls, the emails, the text messages. I mean, you were one of these people. What I know for sure is no matter what happens in my life, in my career, that I will always have those people that will lift me up and I will lift them up. And they bring me so much hope. They bring me so much joy. And I just made up my own word, hope and joy.
Hoy.
There we go. Let's coin
So
that.
good. Yeah.
It's terrible. And really, they inspire me every day. My own people, my own network.
Yeah.
And so I'm learning. I'm keeping my circle small, but I'm keeping it loyal. And it's just, my people mean everything to me.
Yeah.
Okay, that was number 1.
That's number 1.
And number 2, I have this gut feeling that it's always going to be okay. And that's, I don't know if I've programmed myself or if I've trained myself or what it is, it's just programmed in my brain. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Just keep doing the next right thing. There's this movie that I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Frozen. Frozen 2.
No.
Has a lot of wisdom in it.
It does.
And she just keeps saying, whether it's Elsa or Anna, I should know this, but I don't know. She just keeps saying, keep doing the next right thing. And I saw that in the theaters as a grown woman, and I thought, that's what I do. You just keep doing the next right thing.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to work out. And
Absolutely.
really good things fall apart, so even better things can come together.
Oh, isn't that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
And
I've seen it over and over and over
that's
again.
it. And that's, I think of change. When I hear that, I think about change and embracing it.
Oh, I love change.
Oh, me too.
I
And
crave it.
well, and here's the thing, because it's always a bit of a surprise. You never exactly know what it's going to turn out to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you grow through it every single time. So how is that a bad thing? You learn, right?
Yeah.
And when you embrace it, there's some freedom that comes with just letting it go. Again, frozen word there. Let it go.
Geez, look at us.
Look at us go, right? When you let it go, suddenly there's a certain freedom, right? When we're clamped down and we're constantly worried and, we're trying to force things that won't necessarily fit, that's exhausting. It's draining. And it doesn't always serve us. So, trusting and hoping for the best, I think that's wise.
Yes, absolutely.
So good.
Thank you.
Okay, on to our last question number 4. And so I'm literally stealing people's words of wisdom here and adding them to my wall of wisdom behind me.
Ooh, okay.
I love hearing what people's favorite quotes are. So question number 4, what is your favorite quote and why?
Okay, so you've heard this one before because you were at my Beyond the Brand speech that I did at the Creative Hive right before COVID hit.
I know.
The last big event. So the dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately. The dream is free. Oh, did I lose you?
No, we're here. We're good.
But the hustle is sold separately. So, this means so much to me. Oh my goodness. So you first in thought, then in form. You have to, dream it up, right? And then if there's no magic wand, it's hard work.
Yeah.
Dedication, persistence. Persistence pays off every single time. Do things with integrity, do the best you can, but stay the course, be persistent. And I am not, I talk about this burnout culture because I was the epitome of burnout, right? Of the
You've been
burnout
there.
culture.
You've
I've been there, and I was so fortunate to have hit rock bottom, and I mean this, rock bottom at such a young age. And I use the word fortunate because I was able to rebuild myself intelligently, piece by piece, day by day, minute by minute, with those building blocks and that strong foundation. It was a lot of work, but it was so worth it, and it has really paid off in the end. And so I will hustle like nobody's business, but I will also take time for me and to reconnect with myself, because I've seen the other side, and it's not pretty, and I'm never going back.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And your story is so, so powerful, and
Thank
your
you.
journey, and, the courage you show by sharing that story, because it is a trap that we can fall into as young entrepreneurs, that you think you've got to pour it all in, and I'll get to me later. I'll get to me later.
No.
They come
There's
first.
no later.
That comes first. There is no later, right?
Yeah.
And that's a really hard lesson to learn. And so I think by sharing your message and your story, you're able to help prepare people to look for those signs in themselves, to not be afraid to do some self-reflection and step back, because there's no shame in that at all.
No, I had to do that just the other day, because I'm back to, I'm back in my business. I'm back to being the receptionist and being the janitor and taking clients, which I love. I'm enjoying it, but I'm also running Virago from the front desk at Lipstick Empire.
Right.
And then guess what? I have a personal life. I have a partner.
Mm-hmm.
I have all those things. And it was just getting too much. And I was just feeling run down and tired and just not energized. And I thought, I need to do something about this. So what do? I go see my psychologist, who she keeps me in check, right? I talk about mental health. I talk about, anxiety, depression, and taking care of your mental health. Like I talk about going to the hair salon or going to get a facial, right? I let everybody know it's okay. I'm taking away that stigma, because it is the best thing I've ever done for myself, is keeping my head right. Yeah. And so she just said, okay, back to basics.
Awesome.
Right? You need to structure your time. Yeah, you need to prioritize, and you need to breathe. And you, like you said, being up here, we were talking about like holding everything, and she said, you got to let it go.
Yeah. Oh, and we know it, we've heard it, we've done it, but we need that reminder sometimes. And
we do.
What I'm picking up from what you're sharing here is that on that mental health continuum, it's not, your mental health is good or bad. It is this continuum, and it is a journey. And we're going to have, much like we have days where physically we're feeling great or not so good, mentally, it's exactly the same thing.
And your work is never done. Your work
is never done. No, because there's constantly change happening around us and within us. So, and I love the fact that you're normalizing this conversation. And you're making it easy for others to speak about it too. And that's the ticket to change. That's how we're going to change the conversation.
I agree.
Ah, yes. You are my sparkle sister. I love it.
Oh yeah, girl. You too.
Okay, so we have blown through my 4 favorite questions, which brings us to the bonus round of the Wheel of Wisdom.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Are you excited? You ready for this?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So give me 2 seconds. We're going to share my screen, and we're going to make it come to life. Can you see my colorful Wheel of Wisdom?
I can.
Good stuff. And so
better land on the pink one.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I've had a few people ask me, do I get to pick a color at least? It's like,
I know.
Totally random, actually.
Yeah.
So here we have just some random words. They're kind of a little bit business-minded, a little bit self-help, and it's going to land on a random one for you. And I just want to hear your first thoughts off the top of your head, what comes up for you when we get to your words. So here we go. We're going to give it a spin. And here we are at failure.
Woo!
Heavy one.
Scheduled. I got a lot to say.
It's a big one.
Failure might be my middle name.
I doubt that.
Oh yeah, no, I invite failure, right? If you don't fail, you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
So failure is one of my favorite F words for sure. So when I was first starting out, and like we said, I started my first business at 23. It was everything. It was all I ever spoke about, thought about, dreamed about. Just, it was my world. And I put everything into it to the point where I hit my lowest low. I was exhausted. My mental health was not in check. I had lost a tremendous amount of weight. It was very unhealthy. I wasn't eating. I wasn't sleeping. I was not me. And I kind of touched on it before. So that was my rock bottom. Okay. I just thought I'm a failure in every sense of the word. And at this time, I didn't know that failure was going to be my stepping stone. I didn't know this, right? I didn't know that there was a positive to every negative when it comes to failure, and when it comes to business, and when it comes to success. So I didn't get out of bed for 3 months. I had to end this partnership. I was very unwell. And the whole time I thought, I'm so embarrassed. I'm a failure. You know, no one's ever going to want to work with me. Like, I don't even want to show my face. And I thought, I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to try again. I'm not going to, all the things we tell ourselves when we're in an unhealthy state. And then I started feeding myself properly, nourishing myself, reading, positive books, and talking to people who were inspirational, and seeing my psychologist. And that's, like I said, I got to rebuild myself intelligently. And geez, 3 years later, I started Lipstick Empire.
Yeah.
I mean, right? And I said, I'm never going to do it again. But I learned from that failure. I learned from those, I don't even want to call them mistakes, because they were all meant to happen. It all lined up to get me to where I am today. So failure, like I said, it is one of my favorite F words.
Yeah. And embrace it, right? Like, because again, in these conversations, when we talk about it, and it requires us to be vulnerable, we are sharing strength and courage with others. And we can't learn without the failures. We can't figure out what doesn't work until we fail.
I know. And there is always, like I said, there's always a positive side to it, but you can't see it when you're in it.
No.
Your hindsight is 20/20. So now I look back and I'm like, oh, this is why this happened, and this is why that happened. Now I know what not to do.
That's right.
And I've learned more from, what not to do than anything.
Yeah. So, that phrase you said, it is like stuck in my heart, that I didn't realize failure was my stepping stone. That is so profound. And we're seriously going to be adding that to my well of wisdom, because it's so good.
That just shot out of me. I don't know where that is. True. The truth.
Oh, yeah. No, I love it. And I think all of us, every single one of us, no matter what industry we're in, where we're at on our journey with our careers, or in our personal lives for that matter, we need to remember this, that failure is that stepping stone. You can't avoid it. You need to get it to the other side.
But also, I like that image too, when of failure being a stepping stone, because we don't want to live there. We don't want to give it so much power, but we want to just jump right off and keep moving forward. So
yeah. Oh, so good. So good. Well, Justine, this has been amazing. I'm sad that we're at the end of the Give Me 20 session, because I just want to keep going. But if people want to reach out to you, what's the best way to either connect with you about Virago and Lace with the marketing and your all of that incredible work that you do, or with Lipstick Empire? What's the best way to reach out?
So on Instagram, we're very active on Instagram. So at Lipstick Empire on Instagram, my personal at Miss MISS Lipstick Empire. You can connect with me anytime. And Virago and Lace is at Virago, VIRAGO, and Lace on Instagram. So
awesome. And you are hopefully going to get flooded with people wanting to reach out and learn more about your story, or reach out to your professional services at the spa, like, sign me up, I'm coming in, I need some help. And
you're stunning, but just come and relax and enjoy.
Yeah, no, we all need that maintenance stuff, if not for anything other than rejuvenating how we feel about ourselves. So
self-care, it's everything.
You betcha. Okay, well, thanks again, Justine, and
Thank you.
thanks everyone for tuning in and watching another episode of the Give Me 20 series. And if you would be interested in being in the spotlight, I'd love to hear from you. So please do reach out. Bye for now.